Talent acquisition has always been focused on hiring the best individuals. But the real key to performance is how people combine as a team. And now that AI is becoming a team member as well, employers need to rethink everything they know about building their workforce. Keep listening to find out more. Support for this podcast is brought to you by the Excellent Workplace Rating by Time Magazine and Statista, a new global standard for workplace recognition. If you're committed to building a standout employer brand, your company can apply for the Time Magazine Excellent Workplace Rating and be evaluated across 14 categories covering the full employee lifecycle. You'll receive a detailed, data-driven report highlighting where you excel as an employer and where you can improve. Companies that qualify will also earn the Time Magazine Excellent Workplace Award and logo to showcase their achievement. Beyond recognition, the programme helps you truly understand your workplace and your people, benchmark against peers, and strengthen your employer brand with credible third-party validation. Head to the contact form at time.com/excellentworkplace. That's time.com/excellentworkplace and include the discount code RecruitingFuture in your message to receive 20% off your company's rating.
There's been more of scientific discovery, more of technical advancement and material progress in your lifetime and mine than in all the ages of history.
Hi there, welcome to episode 784 of Recruiting Future with me, Matt Alder. Talent acquisition has always been built around the individual. Find the right person for the right role. But once someone joins a team, something far more complex takes over. How people combine matters as much as who they are on their own. Each person brings a unique mix of human qualities that affect how they work with others. Factor in all those qualities across all the possible ways a team could be put together, and the number of combinations quickly reaches into the trillions. So, how should employers think about team composition, and where does AI fit in as both a tool and a new team member? My guest this week is Bernhard Zinkler, co-founder and managing director of Smichels. In our conversation, he explains how data can reveal hidden team potential, why AI should be treated as a team member rather than a replacement, and what hiring will look like when organizations start thinking in combinations rather than individuals. Hi, Bernhard, and welcome to the podcast. An absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Please, could you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Hey, Matt, thank you for having me. I mean, it's a wonderful and inspiring podcast, and I feel really honored and delighted to be part of it. And introducing myself, my name is Bernhard Zinkler. I'm a co-founder and managing partner of Smichels. In another life, I got a PhD in European law and used to work as an attorney practicing corporate company and labor law. So actually for quite a bit of time, I was dealing almost with the opposite side of talent acquisition. So implementing new technologies or realization of merger synergies meant most of the time for me laying off people. And I did that for quite a while. And then coming from this efficiency-driven side, I decided 15 years ago to make my passion my profession and went into the world of art. So quite a different world. But it was fantastic, really learning curve, integrating creative methods into business and research environments. And there I got a good taste on how valuable the right balance between or among artistic and artificial intelligence can become to effectively create value innovation. So that's what you find at the core of Smichels. It's a company concentrating on matching team intelligence. I mean, bringing intelligence from very different sides together.
I think that's really interesting because obviously on the podcast, we talk a lot about talent acquisition, and talent acquisition is going through some really big changes. But we don't talk much about what happens after people get hired and, you know, that kind of whole sort of team dynamic and what goes on and how employers should be thinking about that really, I suppose, from the talent acquisition stage. Talk us through a little bit more about team intelligence and what you do and where that gap is between hiring and performance.
Well, I think at the core, we all know that major shifts are lying ahead of us. And those shifts, they will basically reach any aspect in industry, any aspect in research. So there will be probably a new way of really looking at this global world. And what we feel like is at the core of any activity, of any cooperation, it's the team as the core community to actually are we able to work together? And we will see very, to our understanding, very, very different types of team. You will see teams of supply chains. You will see teams that are actually working closely together. You will see teams that are fragmented all around the world. It will be really, really a big adventure that lies ahead of us. And we feel like all the tools right now are not really looking into how do I get the best out of a team. We are still, in a way, looking for the best of the best of the best, which is like a little bit the Man in Black approach, where you have to think more about who is the right team and the team with all its combinations, and especially looking at AI also as a team player, which gives us a vast possibilities to actually find out that we are well prepared for all the challenges ahead of us.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point. I want to kind of dig a bit deeper into the AI aspect of this, probably a little bit later in the conversation. But before we do, just tell us a little bit more about what makes team intelligence. What is it that employers can do? What's the techniques? What's the science behind all of this?
Well, team intelligence is basically in all of us. We are like a Homo socius, like a species that is really based on cooperation. We are not the strongest. We are maybe smart, but not one person can basically. We are not all geniuses. So it's all the core of performance is always in the team. And I would say we are starting by actually making it more transparent how a team works. So there are certain aspects in our intelligence that are totally focused on working together. How do you glue a team? And there are other aspects where you feel like, okay, those are push factors to push a team forward. And there are other factors inside of us who are which are able to optimize our work. Just to give you a few examples. So, for example, a team, you have, we all talk about team ability. How are you a team player or not? And then when you ask people, okay, what is it actually, and how much data do you have on working in a team? You will find very often that this is very, let's say, you always end up with gut feelings and stuff like that. So one factor, for example, can be tolerance. If you are not tolerant, it's very hard for you to stay in a team based on a lot of diversity. And another factor could be humor. Humor is one of those factors inside of you to basically make fun even of stressful situations. So if you have those factors in a team, and everybody knows that for example in the Middle Ages the Joker was actually the only one who could actually tell the king still the truth, because everybody else wasn't able to keep the team together and tell the truth. And Joker, actually everybody wants to have a Joker in his team, and it's even looking at the word joke. It clearly says how important those factors are. And when you look at the mindset of an exploit team, which is based on factors to optimize a team, of course, diligence is a core factor there to really look into the detail. And then, of course, you have the explore team where you need more imagination, and you also need courage, to enter, curiosity, all those factors that you have to find in a team, not in all of the team players, but the right mixture in a team. So we are trying to make it more transparent. What are all those factors, and how are you able to match them? And just to give you one number, I mean, right now, for example, if you have, let's say, 1,000 applicants, and you are looking for the best 10 people team in order to find out of those 1,000 applicants the best mix, only these people, and I'm not talking about all those factors, that's a number, it's 263 sextillions. I mean, this is a number, no gut feeling. Nobody can basically calculate it by hand. You need machinery to support that. And when I'm talking about all those different factors, you go into numbers you cannot even have a name, cannot even put a name to it. And that's why I think that's catapulting us into the time of AI, Maybe I should mention also, I co-founded Smichels together with my brother, Martin, and Martin comes from the world of healthcare, and his specialty, his company, which he sold very successfully, was based on finding the right applicants for medical studies. And you can imagine that's also a matching process where you have to combine millions of factors in order to find the right combinations. That goes from blood pressure to, I don't know, certain gene characteristics. So that's why we look to Smichels from a scientific point of view, but also from the artistic point of view, in terms of art as all our creative resources we have, and they are very, very different in each person.
And I think that's so interesting, particularly what you're saying about gut feel there. So I think it's something that happens all the time, that people will say, well, I think this person's going to fit into this team. I just, I have that gut feel, or my experience tells me. But as you say, there are so many variables there, and it's great that we now have the technology to be able to do this. But to do this, employers have to think more broadly, don't they? And I suppose that also extends to things like skill shortages. So, skills are changing all the time. Organizations are sort of prone to as soon as they see skill shortage somewhere, they're tempted to go and hire someone. But actually, there are things that could be done with science within teams to solve that in a different way, aren't there?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you have this human factor, and you will have those big shifts. I mean, it's clearly in the car industry, in the energy industry, in the telecommunication industry. I mean, you will have major shifts. And when you look at corporations that have thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, and they probably have a lot of talent, which may not be totally used in the position they have, and I feel like but it's a big value that you actually have those talents, and you have built up trust for a long time. So to really look into your, let's say, gene pool, and look for the right combinations, and even built almost in a Moneyball way. I don't know whether you know the movie. I mean, really looking into, okay, what are qualities for certain teams? That's at the core of what we do with Smichels. And we also analyzing different types of projects. So you have a lot of data coming now out of those process mining and CRM tools, where you can actually kind of look into all the different projects and find the right requirements, what you are expecting from a team. And then when you have all those different factors from a team point of view, you can make great choices. I mean, that doesn't mean you should definitely follow those recommendations, but it just gives the classic talent acquisition and talent, the people who develop talent, it gives them really good idea about where should the people go and what could be really needed,
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose to kind of extend that out and talk about the way that AI is sort of shaking up the workforce. So what we're kind of seeing at the moment is companies sort of claiming that they're laying off people because they're replacing them with AI, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of science behind that. And what we've talked about a lot on the podcast in the last few months is AI is very task-based. So it's kind of replacing tasks, not jobs. And I'm just really interested in your kind of view on how AI fits into teams and how those decisions should be made.
Well, of course, we are just at a starting point. I have to say, I mean, we are actually right now integrating in the system more and more features, AI features, and at the same time, we are looking into when we look at all those. Let me call them elements, because like imagination or empathy or all those elements there's no real scientific expression for it that everybody would agree to. I mean, so we call them elements or superpowers within all of us. And when you look at diligence, I mean, artificial intelligence will become probably really, really good in diligence. And a lot of tasks and a lot of jobs where you would have said in the past, their diligence is a key or mindfulness or accurateness or precision is a very, very important part of that. Probably artificial intelligence can help you a lot. I mean, everything that we would probably say convergent thinking or needs convergent thinking, AI can be a very, very good partner in a team like that. I mean, I work together with artists for the last couple of years, and usually they never have a problem with imagination. They never have a problem with inspiration. But, they would love, and I'm talking about the movie business, I'm talking about like music business and a lot of stuff. But what they would really like is to have an agentic AI that helps them with a lot of, let's say, more, we would say probably boring stuff, but which is totally essential. And that works, that can work in a very nice way. And on the other hand, to artificial intelligence, I think, I mean, coming from the arts, I always look at it from the point of view when photography appeared for the first time. And a lot of people would say, well, this is the end of art. This is the end of creativity. Now we have no jobs anymore. And then, then the Impressionists showed up, and finally Picasso showed how a portrait could look like if you don't have a photography. And I think this is actually what we will see with artificial intelligence. We will really push it, and at the same time, of course, we have to find out how we are using it and how we get a more, let's say, a human touch to it.
Yeah, that's a fascinating analogy, actually, with photography. I'd not thought about that. That's that's a really great way of thinking about it. Kind of as a sort of final question to sort of pull all this together, what do you think hiring is going to look like in a few years time? What might be possible, based on what you're working on, what you're seeing then that isn't quite possible now or isn't being done by most employers now?
Well, I think what changes the most is that we are not going into profiling anymore, where you look for a very specific target. The clearer, the better, and the better more exact the matching will be. It will be more like you will be looking for those meta skills or this meta skill sets, and not in a sense of on an individual basis, but rather look at the gene pool of your corporation. I mean, you will be looking in a broader sense on your human resources and on your AI resources, because AI is basically energy and money in terms of getting the best or the best AI tools possible. But with people, it's probably you look at your whole workforce in a broader sense. I mean, I think that will be a big shift. And you will look at it from a much more interdisciplinary and intercultural perspective. I think that will play a major role, especially when you look at supply chains that can need to be reorganized within in minutes. I mean, we saw that with COVID, and we will probably see these kind of things. And there you need to know your people a lot better. And
Bernhard, thank you very much for talking to me. My thanks to Bernhard. You can follow this podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can search all the past episodes at recruitingfuture.com. On that site, you can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter, Recruiting Future Feast, and get the inside track on everything that's coming up on the show. Thanks very much for listening. I'll be back next time, and I hope you'll join me.
This is my show.